For most of her life, Dolores Huerta has been a community organizer. In the 1960s, Dolores and Cesar Chavez struggled to raise up the working lives of farm workers as the UFW movement grew out of the rich fields of the San Joaquin Valley. This neighbor-to-neighbor organizing tradition thrives today in a number of Central Valley communities due to the work of Huerta, her daughter, Camila Chavez, and the living legacy of the Dolores Huerta Foundation and other grassroots community organizations. For years, in an area of Bakersfield called Greenfield, a neighborhood park was controlled by drug dealers, making family activities there impossible.
Okay, I'll bring to you a little triptych we have. When you'd walk, there'd be hypodermic needles on the ground, broken liquor bottles. So all the group wanted to do was to walk, and they came across all these environmental barriers.
Comenzando con un grupo muy pequeño,
with a very small group,
tuvimos que vencer esos
we
obstáculos,
had to defeat those obstacles.
llamando a la
We
policía
had to call the police
para reportar el
to
graffiti,
report graffiti,
personas que venían a vender
people
droga,
who were here selling drugs,
perros que eran peligrosos.
dangerous dogs running loose.
And what we did is we all got together with decision makers to talk about what we want to do in the park and what changes need to be made.
En conjunto con las autoridades,
And working together with the authorities,
trabajamos juntos a cambiar
we
este
worked
parque,
together, we changed this park,
a hacer un lugar más seguro,
make it a safer place,
en el que más personas
To where
animaran a venir.
more people dare come here.
The Greenfield Walking Group, activists with strollers, won the turf battle. As the neighborhood repopulated the park, the women claimed a space to exercise. They lost weight, and they and their families became healthier.
Dare come here.
Y ahora somos un grupo
And now we are a group
que de 5 personas que
from
comenzamos,
5 people that we began it.
somos alrededor de 60
Now we're like
personas.
60 people, 70 people.
On the right-hand side, as we approach, are the 26 houses that do not have sewer access.
Once neighbors learn to come together, they begin to tackle problems endemic to these unincorporated agricultural communities that lack basic health and safety services and infrastructure. The Dolores Huerta Foundation and its projects have had concrete positive impact on the quality of life for residents of Arvin, Lamont, and Wheatpatch.
So one of our first victories was a wage increase for farm workers with a march that we had in the springs of 2005 and
A gymnasium was constructed, 2 swimming pools were reopened, and relationships have been built with a variety of public and private partners. The Vecinos Unidos project of the Dolores Huerta Foundation demands active participation in programs and decisions. A training program ensures that outstanding leaders are prepared to serve as public officials.
And 3 of our graduates ran for school board. And Leticia Prado will also present, and she is now on the school board. Leticia.
Well, it's just very inspiring. I think we're talking about really marginalized communities, Spanish-speaking immigrants, farm workers. People have a lot of challenges in dealing with the problems that they're facing. They work long hours in the fields all day, 8, 10, 12 hours a day, and then to try to attend government meetings and advocate and stand up for their rights, it's exhausting.
The organizers, as you saw, that our staff actually came out of our volunteer base, and when we go into a community, we don't go in there and say you, and you are the leaders, you know what I mean? And when they become part of their neighborhood committee, and then they start doing their action plan, then you see the ones that really, really want to do something. When we started organizing, people would say to us, how can you organize the farm workers? They don't speak English. They don't have any assets. They have to migrate from town to town. How are you ever going to be able to organize them? And, well, we did. And both Caesar and I had worked in community organizing.
I think the most important message to give funders about this tour is the importance of funding grassroots. I think the important thing is the grants, if they can be done for multiple years, so that these small groups don't have to use all of their time for fundraising and to manage little grants, stuff, but that they know that they're going to be granted for 5 years. That makes a huge difference because they can hire people and really just stick with it.